Carolyn Dube here. What's the play for today? Today, we're making colorful kaleidoscope gel prints. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is a kaleidoscope gel print? Well, check out the video and see. Here are what the kaleidoscope gel prints look like when they're all finished. So let's dive in and get some paint on that gel plate and start making some. I'm gonna go full rainbow on these, and I'm gonna make sure I've got some of every color onto this gel plate. Now you'll notice as I'm putting these on, I'm putting different shapes of it, different amounts. Some I'm kind of drawing with the line, some of it I'm not. It's not that there's any rhyme or reason to this. I'm just kind of sticking that stuff on there in different places. And you'll see why it's really not that big a deal exactly where it's placed. So that means you've got total freedom to put it on however you want, wherever you want. There's no wrong way to do this. Now right now, it doesn't really look like a kaleidoscope, but it will in just a moment. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take that gel plate, we're gonna fold it over itself and give it a bit of a squish. And that's gonna smoosh the paint on each side of it. Now this paint is super juicy because, well, I used quite a bit of it. So I'm gonna take a quick pull here just to pull some of that paint off. And as a bonus, I get one of those fun prints like that. Well, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold the gel plate again. This time folding it a different way than I did before, and that's going to smoosh the paint around. And then I'm going to fold it again, this time in a different spot. So by the time we're done, you can see how those lines are showing up, almost as if we were cutting up slices of pizza. That's going to create the kaleidoscope effect. And you might be wondering why I'm duplicating some of these, why I'm folding over the same spot again. And it comes down to, I couldn't remember if I did it or not. So just to play it safe, I made sure I did it one more time. So you can see how forgiving this process is. You don't even have to remember what you did 3 seconds ago. Well, here's the first kaleidoscope pull. And there's still plenty of paint left on that plate. So I'm going to take a ghost pull. And what I found when I'm doing this technique is I like the first pull, but I like the second pull even more. There's even more interesting stuff going on in there. And as long as there's still paint on that plate, you bet I'm going to try and grab a print. Now sometimes these prints, they're ho-hum, and sometimes they're amazing, and you never know until you lift the paper up what you get. And on this one, yeah, I love this one. Well, making that one was a lot of fun, so let's make another one. I'm going to put the paint on the plate wherever I feel like it, whatever amount of paint I feel like, and then I'm going to do the same process. So you might be wondering, where did the idea of kaleidoscope prints come from? Well, it came from a collaboration. After seeing the Rorschach prints, one of my friends, Loie, said, hey, let's do this on a round plate. I thought, that's a great idea. And then while doing a Facebook Live with my daughter, she had so much fun squishing this thing over, and before we knew it, it was being folded over and over and over again, creating the kaleidoscope look. This technique completely came from a bunch of play. And by the way, if you want to see the live stream with my daughter, you can check it all. Oh, and also too, there are live streams with my husband where he's making and creating. We got a little silly. If you need something silly, they're all over in the Facebook group called Rediscovering Your Creativity. If you want something serious, then don't watch those. But if you want to laugh, if you want to just escape for a little bit, check out those videos. Now, the very first time that my daughter did this, she found it a little difficult to do. And that's because she still had the plastic on the back of the gel plate. So make sure when you're doing this that you're peeling that gel plate off of any plastic protective surfaces, that kind of stuff, to make it fold. The gel plate folds really well if you've got all that wonderful squish in it, but the plastic backing for it, that doesn't fold nearly as well. And you might have noticed that as I was doing this set of prints, I did something different than the first time. Remember on the first one, after I folded the plate once, I took a print, and then I went and folded the plate a bunch more times? I didn't do that this time. And why is that? Well, this time I'd used less paint, so I didn't need to pull some of it off. I was getting close to a swimming pool there on that first one, and that's why I took the print after folding it once, and why I didn't do it here, simply because there wasn't as much paint. You have complete freedom as you're doing this. There's no one right way to do these gel prints. You absolutely can do them whichever way makes you happiest. And I'm a big fan of understanding why things are happening, which is why I shared with you that it was because there was just so much paint on there. That's why I took that extra pull. And when you understand the reason why a decision's made, it makes it much easier for you to apply that information when you're playing on your plate. Now that very first set that I did, I had a lot more paint on there. Well, I'd put paint over the entire gel plate before I folded it in half. And after that one, I'm like, maybe if I just kind of hang on half of the plate, that'll help keep it so I don't use quite as much paint. So that's why these past couple of sets, you've seen me staying on one half of that gel plate. Now, if you're new to gel printing and you're wondering what all a gel plate can do, or if you've been gel printing and you're looking for more ideas, you want to understand how that gel plate works, what exactly is going on, then check out the workshops that I have available over at acolorfuljourney.com. But if you're looking for an art workshop that is an academic lecture experience full of formal terms, then my workshops are not for you. If you're looking for something playful with step-by-step explanations so that it's easy for you to apply the concepts in your play, all while having a good time messing around with your art supplies, then my workshops might be right for you, so take a look at them. Now, as I was folding this plate, there were two things going on. One is I couldn't remember exactly where or how many times I'd folded it, and then I realized, hey, I kind of like how it looks the more I fold it, so I kept folding it more and more. And that's one of the really cool things about playing with a gel plate, if you haven't ever used one, is there's really no wrong way to do this. There's no exact rule that you have to follow. You can fold it, do it as much as you want to, and when you're ready, you put that paper on and take your print. But fair warning for you about doing kaleidoscope prints, they are even more addictive than a regular gel print. These things are just so much fun to mush around and see what happens. Well, thanks so much for joining me for today's play. If you've been enjoying this video, I'd so appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And of course, if you'd like to see more of what I'm up to, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know as soon as I've got a new video out. And of course, you can find more fun over on the website at acolorfuljourney.com. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.